You're listening to A Tiny Homestead, the podcast comprised entirely of conversations with homesteaders, cottage food producers, and crafters. I'm your host, Mary Lewis. Today I'm talking with Christi at T's Kitchen in... Oh, no, I forget. Where are you, Christi?
I am in South Louisiana, so I live
That's right.
just south of Lafayette.
Yeah, I was thinking for some reason Missouri popped in. I'm like, no, she's not that close to me. I know she's not.
No,
If you were, I
no.
would come see you.
I
Um,
know, right?
yeah, Christi's been a guest on the podcast twice already, and I absolutely love her voice and her accent. She is just the sweetest sounding woman I've ever heard. So, welcome, Christi. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. How's the weather in Louisiana?
The weather is hot. It's getting hot, so it's like the heat index is like 85, I believe. This week we're getting a lot of rain, so but it doesn't really cool everything off. It just kind of steams things, if you know what I mean.
I do. Minnesota has been very, very hot for, well, it's now June 2nd or 3rd. 3rd?
Uh,
June 3rd.
Something like that. Close
But the
enough. Yeah.
the last 2 weeks of May were kind of a little warmer than we would like it to be. It's supposed to be 84 for the high today,
Oh, really?
but we don't have the humidity building yet, thank God.
Right, right. It's the humidity that makes everything so, ugh,
So
not
gross.
fun.
Yeah.
So gross. Yeah, I don't even know. So gross.
Yeah, when you step outside and it feels like you're walking through mist, it's not a great feeling.
No, it's not.
Now, if you're in Maine at the ocean and you get up in the morning with your warm cup of coffee and step outside and the air feels like mist, it's because it's mist coming off the ocean. And
Yeah,
that's a beautiful feeling, but
that's
this
a
hot,
great thing.
sticky grossness is not okay. Um, it is sunny here. My peonies are blooming like crazy. My whole driveway, the edge of the side of my driveway looks just beautiful right now with all the pinks and corals and
Oh,
burgundies
wow.
and whites. It's my favorite time of year.
How gorgeous. Oh, I'm gonna have to go check out some pictures on that.
It is beautiful. I've posted a few. I will post
I'm
some
gonna have
more.
to check that out. Oh, I bet it's so pretty. We
It
have our
is.
summer garden going, and like I'm friends with some people, through TikTok and all that, and they'll message me and say, "I cannot believe you already have cucumbers and tomatoes." And yeah, we've been in full swing for a while, so that's always nice. Those summer gardens.
Yes, yes, and you get produce so much earlier than we do up here in the north.
Yeah.
Um, so when did you plant your tomatoes and cucumbers for this season?
Well, I say we. I am more like the supervisor.
Yeah,
I'm not
me
good
too,
at. I'm a
yes.
brown thumb. So my husband planted. Gosh, it was pretty early March, I believe. We usually plant around Mardi Gras, but we planted a little later this year because for some reason it stayed cooler a little bit longer. So I think it was March, maybe late March that he planted.
Okay.
And yeah, that's his thing. I just reap the benefits from it.
Yeah, my husband is the gardener too, and I never take credit for actually anything that's gardening.
Mm-mm.
I take credit for cooking the things that he brings in from the garden.
Exactly.
And
That's
we
the
are,
fun part.
yeah, we're about 2 months behind you. My husband started planting, I think, the first weekend in May, I
Okay.
think. And
Yeah.
our tomato plants are looking real sad. They've got the early blight. It's the first time this has ever happened to us.
Oh,
So he's trying to figure out what to do to cure them, and he hasn't quite figured it out yet. And I'm afraid that by the time he does figure out how to save them, there won't be anything worth saving. I don't know yet.
oh, my no. My husband went and picked a few tomatoes from the garden, and he picked them early because they had holes in some of them. So we just
Yep.
put them on the windowsill. That's all you can do. And it's better than you know them just sitting there and rotting.
Yes. Yes. And we're used to the blight that comes at the end of the season. That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
But we've never had early blight before. And the saddest part is that there's over 100 tomato plants in the garden that are sick
Oh
with this.
wow. Yeah.
So we
Oh
don't know
man.
how that's gonna go. Luckily, he still had some plants in the greenhouse, so he planted those, and he made sure that the bottom leaves were off of them, so not touching the ground.
Yeah. Well, that's
So
nice. Yeah.
so maybe we'll have some to eat.
I hope so.
Yeah, this gardening thing is a crapshoot. It is literally gambling.
It is.
And
Last year, I feel like his garden didn't do as well, and then this year it seems to be doing great. But here it only lasts for a little while, and then the bugs just completely take over.
yeah.
So
Yep. Yep. Gardening is like it's so good for your soul, but when things don't go right, it's painful.
yeah, all that hard work, and I really feel bad. I feel for him, but because he put so much work into it. But he did downsize a little bit. Normally we do a much bigger garden, and this year he was like, I'm only gonna plant. I'm not gonna do so much this year. So, and
Yeah.
it's working out good so far.
Good. I am very happy for you, and I'm very envious that you get to pick tomatoes and cucumbers right now because I would love some tomatoes mixed with garlic and some mozzarella cheese and some basil and
Mm.
some olive oil and some balsamic vinegar over toasted bread. That would
I
be
actually, I actually had
lovely.
that this morning. Like right before we came on, I fixed avocado toast and then I sliced some of those tomatoes on top and did, like I put some garlic butter seasoning and what else did I put? Oh, I did a little salt and pepper and then I love hot honey. I'm into hot honey. And then I
Yep.
also put a little drizzle of balsamic glaze and man, it was so good.
Yeah, I have to acquire some things to make the thing I just explained, and I can't think of the name of that this morning either. Bruschetta.
Oh, yeah.
I just I'm getting to the point where I haven't had it in probably 4 or 5 months, and I'm like, bruschetta sounds really good.
Mhm. I posted we always have an abundance of basil. So I make basil oil, which is, most people comment and they say that's pesto. It's really not because it doesn't have pine nuts and it doesn't have the Parmesan cheese. But I make
Right.
a basil oil and I'll make homemade bread and we dip that in there. But I also I use it for my caprese salad. So I'll do the fresh tomatoes, fresh mozzarella, and then that basil oil. And then if I sometimes I put balsamic vinegar and sometimes I don't. But I just did a video on it and made myself hungry again for it.
Yep. When you make the basil oil, is it olive oil and basil leaves, or how do you do it?
Yeah, it's olive oil, basil leaves, you put a little bit of garlic, a small amount of water. It's pretty simple.
Do you
It's
do you crush the basil leaves so the oils come out?
yeah, I blend it all up.
Okay. That sounds fabulous. We might have to do that. We have some really nice basil growing this year, so we're gonna have enough to do some fun things with it.
Yeah, I always one year I gave it as like a gift and I made homemade bread and I with a little jar of the basil oil and I gave it to some teacher friends and they still request it.
Yeah, that's the danger of sharing your creations with people because you think you're making it for them once, and then they come back and they're like, "Do you have any more of that? Can I get
Yeah.
that?" That's when you turn into a business.
Yeah. Well, fun fact, I used to do that. I used to run a little small bakery out of my home.
Oh, okay.
Um yeah, but it got to be too much, cuz we have a camp in Pecan Island and so people would request cakes and things on the weekends and I wanted to go to the camp. So we just cut that out, but maybe one day I'll get back into it again.
You just reminded me. I was supposed to do this a week ago. I need to renew my cottage food registration because I live in
Oh.
Minnesota, and I wanted to make granola for the farmers markets this year, and I can't sell it without that registration.
Oh,
I
okay.
need to get that done. I need to go look that up today because I forgot all about it completely.
Mm,
Because the world is a crazy place right now, and it's really easy to get distracted.
it's true. Man, I love a good farmer's market.
Yeah, the first one is this Saturday, and I don't go because I am really shy and I really hate sitting in the sun.
Yeah.
I do not love being hot. So my husband actually loves being social. He loves selling stuff, so he'll be going on Saturdays to downtown LeSueur, city of 6, 7,000 people, maybe.
Well, that works out that you can
Yep.
get him to do it. Yeah.
He loves it. It just fills his cup so much, and he's made such good friends with the vendors that are there. It's so
Hmm.
fun for him.
Oh, nice.
But we should have some lettuces for sale. We'll have lip balms and some candles and some cold processed lye soap that we make, and maybe some peony blooms. That's what we're
Oh,
gonna have on
wow.
for sale. So
I just love a good farmer's market. That sounds fun.
I love a good farmer's market where they have food, but they
Me
also have
too.
things. You know,
Yeah.
there's a guy at our farmer's market that makes jewelry,
Mhm.
and he makes the most unusual things. And looking at them, I would be like, what would I wear that with?
Mhm.
And I don't ever buy any of it because I don't really go out, so I'm not going to buy jewelry. But
Yeah.
it's just so interesting to see the creativity that people have and how they express it.
I know. I love that. I love helping like small businesses or just local, just people that make things with their hands. I'm so intrigued by that. And I always say like I'm a sucker. I have to go with tons of money because I fall in love with everything and I fall in love with their story and I just want to buy their stuff and I want to share it and help them.
Yeah, there's a lady that sells baked goods, and she makes these little silver dollar size lemon cookies.
Oh.
And my husband brought them home to me last summer once, and there were 6 little silver dollar cookies in a baggie. And I said, "Honey," and he said, "What?" And I said, "Can I just eat these? Can I just have these? Like, do you want one before they're gone? Because I love lemon, they're gonna be gone."
Right. Act now.
And he said, "Well, yeah, you can have them." He said, "I know you love lemon, that's why I got them for you." And I ate 3 right then, and they were so good with a glass of cold milk, and I had to force myself to wait till the next day to eat the other 3 because I really wanted to eat the other 3 right away.
I know. I have zero self control with sweets.
Mhm.
Ugh,
Yep.
they have
Anything
a I'm sorry.
No, anything lemon, I'm just done for. I
Yeah.
love sweet lemon.
Mm. So refreshing in the summer too. No, I
Yep.
was gonna say they have a farmers market here that's really popular and it's in Delcom. It's right on the water. So like the shrimpers will come and you can like buy shrimp right off the boat. It's the coolest thing. I love it. So like they call it the Delcom Seafood and Farmers Market. So it's mostly like people just go with their ice chest and go meet the boats and they'll just load up on fresh shrimp or whatever, like crabs and just it's amazing. They have great things over there.
So, because I am terrible at geography, your ocean, as it were, is, the Gulf of Mexico Ocean?
Yes. Yes.
So is that Atlantic? Is that part of
Um
Atlantic or part of Pacific? Do you know?
I I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean, I don't know. It's the Gulf of Mexico. I don't I don't really know. I guess it would be Atlantic. Oh,
Yeah,
now I feel really dumb.
I don't, because there's just so much to know in the world, you can't know everything. The reason I ask is because do they have, like, the little bitty shrimps up to the big prawns, or is there a specific kind of shrimp that you get?
They have different sizes. I mean, they'll catch, it just depends on what size you want, but yeah, I mean, there's all sizes. So it
Must
just
be
depends on what they
nice.
have. I know
I'm
it's
I'm
very
landlocked,
nice.
ma'am. I don't get good seafood in Minnesota anywhere.
Mm. And my favorite is soft shell crabs. And so sometimes if you get lucky, they'll sell those. Oh man, it's awesome. I enjoy peeling shrimp. Like some people just it's like therapeutic for me. So I love just getting fresh shrimp off the boat and coming home and peeling it and vacuum sealing it and putting it in the freezer.
You go into the zone of creativity.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You don't think about anything else.
It's the best part of food prep and of actually cooking, and we talked about that last time. Um, so one of the things that's great about seafood, and people who live in the Midwest will not know this, it's so easy. It's so easy to cook it because mostly you boil seafood,
Yeah.
and then you just peel the shell off and eat the meat, and it's so good just like that. But there are so many things you can do with it too. And I just laugh because I used to hate seafood. I grew up in Maine. I hated seafood. I hated fish. The only fish I would eat, my dad used to go fishing and he would bring home these great big bass.
Yeah.
And he would cut the head off and he would scale it and, obviously take the ick out of the inside, gut the fish. I don't know what they call it, clean the fish.
Yeah.
And then he would put stovetop stuffing in like a Dutch oven pan. He'd put it around the edge. And then he'd put the fish right in the middle of the stuffing. And
Yeah.
he'd put salt and pepper on it. And he'd bake it for however long it took to be done. And that was the only fish I would eat. And just sitting here talking about it, my mouth is literally watering. And we went home when my youngest was probably 10. And youngest wanted to catch a bass because this was a big deal. He knew Grampy was going bass fishing.
Yeah.
And I said to my son, I said, if you catch a bass, I said, talk Grampy into letting you bring it home and he'll cook it. And the reason I said talk Grampy into keeping it is because my dad started doing the catch and release on bass when I was probably 25 and well moved out of my parents' house. And my dad doesn't like to keep bass anymore. So they get home and I said, do you have any luck? And Cameron says, I caught a 5-pound bass, Mom. And I looked at my dad and I said, is it in the cooler? And he said, sweetheart, it is. He said, and we're having big bass tonight. I almost cried. Like I had tears in my eyes because he does not do that anymore.
Yeah.
So it was special just for me. And this is the thing about food that's so interesting because I'm sitting here thinking about this, tearing up. And food brings back so much to your feelings.
I know. It does. It does.
And it's why I love talking to people like you who have the same experience.
Yeah. I know. It's and that's, kind of why I started like the Tea's Kitchen thing. It's because, my dad had passed away and my mom was sick with dementia, and which she passed away last year, but I have both of them are gone, and my mom was an amazing cook. My grandmothers were amazing cooks, and it's like that sort of when I make things like that, it sort of brings part of them back, and it like stirs up memories in you. And sometimes when I share certain recipes, I'll get people that'll say, um, man, this, I haven't had this in years. This reminds me of my grandma. And one of the nicest messages I ever got was from this lady, and she said, my husband and I used to cook together. It was our thing. And she's like, we would watch your videos and we would make your recipes, and we would, watch them together, and then we would cook together. And she said, he recently passed away. And so it's when I watch your videos, like it makes me think of him, and it's keeping his memory alive. And I just want to thank you. And I mean, that just touched my heart. It's like something so that you think so simple as food can just really, really do something special for people,
Yeah, well, I feel like food is like music.
Yeah.
When you hear a song that you listen to with someone that you really cared about, it brings them back. If you
Right.
make food that you shared with someone you love or they taught you to make it, it brings them back.
Yep.
So music and food are tied together.
Right. Right. And food it involves all 5 of your senses. So, that's why it's so strong. Like those food memories are so strong. So, it makes sense.
Yeah. And I'm going to say it for the billionth time, I swear. If you don't know how to cook, you really need to learn how to cook. For
I know.
many, many, many reasons beyond being able to feed yourself.
Yeah.
There is so much satisfaction in learning to make something from actual ingredients, not just sticking it, taking the ingredients out of a box and putting it in the microwave.
Yeah. Yeah. It just, I don't know. That's how I always say that. That's how I show my love. I cook for people,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
just,
I'm not saying don't make something from a can if you're not feeling good and if you need Campbell's soup and a can of ginger ale to not feel sick, go for
right.
it.
Yeah.
But if you make homemade chicken soup when you feel good and you have some in the freezer, that's probably going to make you feel way better than Campbell's soup from the store.
Yeah, absolutely. I know my husband had a bad cold a couple weeks ago, and I was like, what do you want? Chicken noodle soup. I'm like, okay. So I made homemade chicken noodle soup, and he's like, man, this just, I mean, it's like the cure all,
Mhm.
someone's sick, someone passes away, that's the thing you think to cook. My mother-in-law recently, she was like, I'm so hungry for eggplant dressing. And so I made that for her and sent it over, that's just how I show my love.
Yes, and I think anyone who loves to cook probably does the same thing. I've done it all my life since I learned to cook in my mid-20s.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
it's
I
not
was
for
a
everybody. Some people say, I really hate cooking. And I understand that because there's things that I hate doing too, so, but I can't relate to it because I just love it so much.
yeah, I was a late bloomer cooker. I didn't really cook until I hit 25, 26.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, I don't know, I kind of want to learn how to do some of this stuff. Mostly because I went, when I would go to restaurants, I would try something new and I really liked it, but I knew that I wasn't gonna be able to afford to go to that restaurant all the time to get the thing I liked. And I was like, if they can make it, I can make it.
Yeah.
That's probably what started it.
Right. I know. And it's just, nowadays, you have to be self sufficient. You have to figure out how to take care of yourself.
Yeah, especially with the cost of food. Oh
Ugh,
my
that
god.
too. I was telling we went on a little small vacation, and I told my husband, I'm like, and I'm not saying that like to brag or anything, but I just feel for some reason now that we cook so much at our house. And I mean, my husband and the boys they hunt and they fish. So we have our own meat and all this. We grow our own garden. And so now when we go eat at a restaurant, I'm like, it's good, but I don't enjoy it as much as I do whenever I'm at home. I
Mhm.
just prefer eating at home. I don't know why.
The first time I made something the first time I made something that I had had at a restaurant and I did it right and I added the things that I wanted to do to it and had it, when I had that again at a restaurant, my first thought, and I felt so snobby, was, I've made this better.
Yeah.
I can make this better than they do."
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
thought, "Man, how arrogant is that?" And then I thought, if it's true, it's
I
probably not
know.
arrogant.
I know, like, I just and I do, I feel bad saying that, but I don't know, they just can't get that home cooking right.
Mhm.
Nothing beats home cooking, and I don't know if it's just because things are different, like, I'm to the point now where we have deer meat, and so I don't really eat beef, and so now when we eat ground beef, I'm like, I feel like they're adding stuff to this because this doesn't taste the same. I don't know, it's just I guess we've become accustomed to just eating at home, and I just enjoy it so much more?
Yeah, and you're not wrong. Ground beef does taste different in the last year or 2.
And
I
it's
I
very
don't
watery. Do you find that?
I just don't like it. I don't like how it
No.
tastes anymore.
No, we went to the store and bought that. I don't know why. I think we didn't have time to defrost the deer ground beef that our deer ground meat that we had in the freezer. And I was like, it's really watery. I don't know.
Yeah,
Feel like they're adding filler to it or something.
I don't know what they're doing, but I do know that if we have beef from, like, if we were gonna buy a half or a quarter beef from a local farmer,
Hmm.
butchered, that ground beef is fine.
Oh yeah.
But the ground beef we buy at the store, I'm just like, "God, how can you
Mm.
still eat this, honey?"
I
Ugh.
know. I know. When we were younger, my dad and my grandfather raised cattle, and so we always just kind of growing up, we would slaughter our own calf, and I grew up eating that until, my dad was a deer hunter and my husband's a deer hunter, and now we use that in place of the beef, but I don't know, I guess we're spoiled.
Yes, and you're
We're
fortunate.
spoiled.
You're
Spoiled
fortunate.
and fortunate. Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um, so we were gonna talk about, cold foods for summer eating, and you said you had a
Mm.
couple new ideas, so let's get those in. What were your new ideas for cold foods?
Well, I guess just okay, so we were talking about, I know last time we talked about beating the heat and things just it gets so hot. And so to heat up your oven and your stove when it's really hot here is just unbearable. But I don't know if you have one like this, but I feel like for us, I have this little electric griddle that we just plug in. Do you
Mhm.
have one like that?
I don't right now, but my mom had one when I was growing up. I know what you're talking about.
And I feel like it saves me so much. And I went thrifting the other day, and because my son, my oldest son, just got a job and he travels a lot and he stays in hotels and stuff, and I bought one for him, and he's like, "Mom, it's so nice, I can just plug it in and grill burgers or whatever he wants."
Yeah.
But I feel like that helps to not heat up the oven and stuff. I also use my air fryer a lot. But I was gonna say, like, we do a lot of, I love like a pasta salad. um
Me too.
yeah, and I mean, you can even get like a rotisserie chicken from the store and use that instead of heating up any. I mean, you can just make it completely that way and not have to heat up the stove or anything. But yeah, pasta salads and um quick sheet pan meals. I know you have to heat up the oven, but you're only heating up the oven. And
Right.
it's quick. So we do a lot of sheet pan meals and um use a lot of the fresh vegetables and make salads, and I don't know, that just helps. We also do this too. I don't know if you ever make this. I call it spa water, but I think some people don't know what that means. But like, if you go to a fancy spa to get a massage, they always have this fancy water, or they have it in hotels.
The
So
cucumber water.
yes, so we just slice up cucumbers and mint from the garden if I have it, but you could leave that out. I do cucumbers, mint, and lemon, like slices of lemon, and I just put it in a pitcher, fill it up with water, and we drink that throughout the summer, and we all love it. And for some reason, I feel like it's a little more hydrating than just water.
It's also really good if you have just a little bit left in the pitcher, not enough to get a glass, pour
Mm-hmm.
it over your hands and splash it on your face. That's all good for your
Oh,
skin.
yeah, that's one. I know. The guys we have a fishing tournament that we do every year. It's this weekend. It's Fishing for Memories, and it's like to raise money for Alzheimer's. And so the guys participate in it every year, and they usually end up placing or whatever. And so we'll do an ice chest, and we'll put Florida water in it and those cooling towels, and they'll bring it with them on the boat, and it's so refreshing. But the lemon would be the lemon and the cucumber would be a really good idea for them to do.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Um, did you know you can do watermelon water? Like,
Watermelon, no, but I'm sure it's delicious.
yeah, all you gotta do is take some chunked up watermelon and put it
Mhm.
in a food processor or a Ninja or whatever thing you have, and you you spin it, you know,
Mhm.
and it makes like a chunky liquid. And that sounds disgusting, but just bear with me. If you want to put it through a strainer, you can, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
And you do half water, half that, half the
Mm.
smushed up watermelon, and
Mhm.
it's so good cold.
Yum. So that's kinda how I make a watermelon martini.
Mhm.
I mean, that's
Yep.
not exactly hydrating, but. Um,
Well, if you
but
just hold the
whole
booze,
yeah.
it'll be
The
very
same
hydrating.
thing. No, the guys sometimes they'll do that too. Uh we make like watermelon balls and
Yep.
put it in a Ziploc bag, and they stick that in their ice chest, and it's hydrating when they're out on the water like that.
Yeah, watermelon is the unsung hero of the melon group because it's so good for you, and you can eat a whole one if you want. You'll probably be sorry the next day,
Yeah.
but you can eat as much watermelon as you want and you won't gain a pound
Wow. Yeah.
because it's sweet, but
Right.
it's not processed sugar. It's actually really good for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah, I was so excited when you said you were going to talk to me today because I was like, "Yay, we can talk about summer food." And then I went back and listened to the last episode and I was like, "We already talked about summer food last summer. Damn it."
It's okay. It's okay.
I get so caught up in what I'm thinking that I have to go back and listen if it's a guest I've had before because I'm like, I don't want to do the same episode twice because nobody's going to listen to it again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's different things you can come up with. There's always something
Yes.
new to talk about. I tell you what I've been
Absolutely.
loving is my husband bought me a cooling pillow for Mother's Day.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. He knows me so well. I'm in my late 40s, so I get
Uh-huh.
hot.
Yep.
And I have a cooling blanket on my bed, and I use that every night, and it's just amazing. And so, yeah, that's what he bought me from, or one of the gifts that he bought me for Mother's Day was a cooling pillow. I'm like, this is genius. I love it.
So does it I don't know anything about these. Does it have a thing inside of it that keeps it cool? Is that how it works?
I'm assuming that's how it works. On this one, I don't know if they're all the same, but on this one, the one side of the pillow is cool. You can flip it to the other side, and both sides are like really soft. But yeah, the cooling side, when you touch it, it feels really cool.
I may have to look into that because I am not in my mid-40s. I'm in my
Mm,
mid-50s. So I
it's
am
nice.
I am over the hump, as it were. But I do sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, God, it's so hot.
Hmm.
I hate this. So yeah, I'll have to look into that because that
Oh
might
yeah,
help.
it's definitely worth it. And then now everybody wants the pillow, so we may have to
Yes.
order more.
Do you have any idea of what price point they are?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. I have no
Okay.
clue where he bought it or anything. I can maybe find out and I'll send it to you,
Okay.
but worth it. And then this cooling blanket is worth it too. Now this, it was a brand last year that reached out to me and said, "Hey, we want to send this to you to try." And I was like, "Yes, absolutely." And it's amazing. It's kind of thin, and I mean, over here you just can't have thick blankets. I admire all the ladies that have the beautifully made beds with all the pillows and all the blankets. We can't do that here.
No, you'll be a
It's
puddle in the
pointless.
morning.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah. Isn't it exciting when a brand reaches out to you? I had that happen last week and
Yes.
I'm waiting on some deodorant samples
Mhm.
from a
It's
company called Pretty Frank is the name of the
mm,
company.
oh, it's nice. I'm kind of picky about it just depends on what the terms are because some things I'm like, if it's I'm not a beauty influencer and I'll get that all the time and I'm
Yep.
just like this just doesn't fit with my audience. Nobody No, I mean, that's not my people, you know? But,
Yes.
or like sometimes they'll offer to send it and then it's like, oh, and you also have to give us all the rights to the video and you have to do all these crazy things. And I'm like, no thanks. That's not worth it for a $20 product, you know? So I'm
Yeah,
kind of
no.
picky about what it is, but if it's something really cool and it fits the brand, fits what I'm all about, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to try that.
Yeah, they emailed me and I thought it was I'm gonna tell the truth here. I thought I was getting scammed because no one ever has emailed me out of the blue.
It's you have to be careful, you know?
Yep. So I went and looked him up and I wrote back and I was like, yeah.
Mhm.
And and the person said, "Can we schedule a phone call?" And I was like, "Okay, yes, a phone call would be great because then I can get a feel."
Right.
And they were telling me all about this deodorant and it is all natural. They have they have a baking soda recipe and a no baking soda recipe because some people they have a skin reaction to baking soda.
Yeah.
And telling me all about this product and I was like, yeah, I would love to try this. And yes, I would love to promote this. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
So, but I don't want to promote it. I want to say this is great until I
Right.
try it.
Right.
But I love
And
the concept.
that's usually what I'll tell them too. Like, I'm happy, they'll say, "We'd love to send this for you to try. And if you feel like it's a good fit, you can share and tag us or whatever." And I'm like, absolutely. But if they, send it and I haven't even tried it, I just feel weird about sharing something with someone if I don't truly love it, you know? Um, and I tell that to people that, like my little community. I'm like, if I share it, it's because I've tried it and I really like it. I'm not gonna share something that I don't like, you know? And if it's like local, even better. I love supporting like our little local community and all the Cajun products and stuff like that. That's like my thing, you know?
Yeah. And the thing is, in social media or digital marketing or whatever the heck they're calling it now, I swear what you and I do has had at least 8 different names in the last 5 years.
Hmm.
The things that you start with are your voice and your integrity.
Yeah.
And if you lose your integrity, you won't be using your voice anymore because people won't listen.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. I know. I have to be authentic to myself, you know. I
yes,
did. I don't know if you watched, but I think since the last time we talked, I started this Let's Roday series. Have you seen it on my page?
I don't know because I see you and I watch stuff, but I'm not necessarily like paying attention closely. So, what is it?
Well, I haven't shared it in it's been a while, but like that's something that I started and man, it has speaking of like authenticity and stuff, it just has brought me so much joy and it's
Mhm.
so I think that's what connects people is like whenever you share something that you really love or you're really passionate about and people can sense that, you know? But like my following has grown so much since I started that. And what it was is just like when my grandmother would always say let's go roday, and so it's like the Cajun French word for like just going around town, riding around, going all over, you know, and she would say that, oh, let's go roday. And so I was on my stories one day and I said, I don't know if y'all have this, but this might sound cheesy, but I have a bucket list on my phone and it's all places like in Louisiana that I want to go to. And if I find a place, I'll just put it on my phone. And I said, I'd love to start a series where I just go to these places. And people just flocked to it. And they were like, yes, yes, I love that idea. And so I came up with the name. I was like, how about we call it Let's Roday? And so I started this series, and that's what I'll do. I'll like go to places on my Louisiana bucket list. So it's usually like I'll visit a town and I'll go to their coffee shop or their, if they have a local thrift shop or antique store, like I'll try their a restaurant, or if they have something that's like a museum, or I'll go to visit if they have a grotto or something or a cool chapel, I'll go and I'll visit these places, and people have just loved it so much. Now, I mean, I'm a teacher, so once school is in, I don't have as much free time to do it, but usually in the summer, you know, like this summer, I'll ramp it up again and start doing it. But that has just been such a cool thing. Like it's evolved so much, and so many people and so many businesses have said, "Oh, wow, you brought so many people to our shop." And I don't know, it's just been so cool to do. It's something that has brought me so much joy, and I think I've gained more followers just because it's who I am and it's a part of my culture, and I think people enjoy that, you know?
Yeah, it sounds like fun. And
Yeah.
there's so little that's just pure fun once you get past 40.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
kid feeling fun.
Right. And that's the thing. I'll go to these places. Most of the time I go by myself. I'll take the drive, and most places are like an hour away, and I'll just go visit, and I'll enjoy, you know, going to these places just by myself. Sometimes I'll bring my son, sometimes I'll bring my family. It just depends, you know, but and there's so many places in your own backyard that you don't even know about. And
Yeah.
I'll get those messages from people that'll just say, I didn't even realize we had this here. You know, you don't have to travel out of state. You can just go on these little day trips, you know?
Yeah. I meant to ask you last time and the time before that, and I didn't. You have kids. How many kids do you have?
I have two boys. So I have a 19-year-old and an 11-year-old.
So the 19-year-old is off to college or off on his own now?
He's off on his own. Yep. He went to, well, I mean, he still technically lives here, but he's never here because he travels. But he went to electrical school and he works for this great company where he's doing like industrial. So they go work on solar plants and stuff, and he loves it. So he'll be gone for a few weeks, and then he comes home a few days and he's back again.
Okay. And your youngest, is he what, 4th grade, 5th grade?
He is going to fifth grade. Hmm.
Yeah. Does he help with cooking? Does he like cooking with you?
He does. He loves to cook. Yep. And sometimes he'll say, "Oh, you know, let's do a video together." I don't know, lately, yesterday I said, "Ev, why don't we do this video?" And he was like, "No." So I'm thinking, "Oh, I hope that doesn't end."
Don't let it end
Oh,
if you
no.
can gently nudge him, keep it
Mhm.
going.
Yep.
Number 1, because it's so good for you guys to build those memories, but number 2, boys, men also need to know how to cook for themselves. So if he
Yeah.
keeps doing it with you, he is showing other males that it is totally cool to cook.
Yeah. And it's great too because my husband is a great cook and he cooks a lot. So he shows our boys, and like my 19-year-old, he'll call sometimes and say, "Hey, I'm making whatever, mom, how do I do this?" And I just kind of, or he'll send me a picture and say, "Is this look good?" I'm like, "Yep."
Coming
And
over. When's it
he
ready?
cooks. Now, I mean, he's most of the time he's in a hotel room or, Airbnb, so it just depends on where he is and what he can cook. But yeah, he'll go to his girlfriend's house and he'll message me and be like, "Look what I made." And he's a great cook, and he's only 19, but that's just from watching us and being around us.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I try to keep these to half an hour, and we're a good 10 minutes over, Christy. Um, I adore you. Please keep
Oh,
doing what you're
the feeling
doing.
is mutual. The feeling is mutual. Thank you so much.
And people can find you at T's Kitchen on Facebook.
Yep, I'm T's Kitchen on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
You need to get on YouTube.
I do. Well, I actually am on YouTube, but I haven't posted there in over a year just because I don't understand it. I need to do some research on the ins and outs of YouTube. I don't understand it as much as the other ones.
Okay. Well, maybe one of your sons can help you. Maybe.
Yeah, because my youngest says that, "Mom, you need to be on YouTube."
Well, yes, and he's not wrong. Again, you have the most beautiful speaking voice, and you have a beautiful face, and you have a great attitude, and you're talented. Share it. Share it
Thank
all over the
you.
place.
Thank you. That means so much to me.
All right, Christy, thank you so much. As always, people can find me at a tinyhomesteadpodcast.com. Um, I hope at some point we actually get to meet in person, Christy. I think that would be so much fun.
Me too. That would be awesome.
All right, you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Same to you.